right, thank you, everyone. Looks like we had a full house tonight. Is there any agenda additions or deletions? Okay. At this point, I'd like to ask for a motion for approval of Wednesday, November 12th meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sounds like we got a winner. Highway, discussion regarding Sonia Lane. You wanna-
We have residents here from town to speak. What's your name?
Do you have everybody signed in?
I don't.
Okay.
Yes, just state your name so that we can have.
Right. Well, good evening. My name is Tom Miles, and I'm here with neighbors from Sonia Lane in East Clarendon. And thank you for agreeing to meet with us tonight. We're here to make you aware of an issue that we've been dealing with over the years regarding the upkeep and maintenance of Sonia Lane. These reflections, unless otherwise indicated, are intended to summarize the efforts of those neighbors present this evening. We have appreciated the opportunity to receive input from Mike Klopchin and Cashew Wayne, as well as from the developer, Sonny Young. At this time, given our ongoing concerns about safety and reliability of road maintenance, we felt it would be helpful to address the board at large in hopes that progress can be made in creating a plan that satisfies all parties and especially addresses safety needs. We request that the town consider partnering with us to develop a long-term plan which will ensure a safe and reliably maintained road. We also request that the specifications for altering the road to meet town requirements be submitted to us, the board, and Mr. Young in writing so that we all have a clear understanding of what is needed. Following my presentation, you will hear an example of our deeds that foretells the town's involvement. We also have a number of questions to present to you, and we recognize that you may not have the answers today and would be happy to reschedule a follow-up meeting in the near future. Since its development, Sonia Lane has been a private right-of-way off of East Street in the eastern part of town. The road is about 700 feet long and provides year-round access to 6 residences and potential access by 2 to 3 other property owners, including Mr. Young. The neighborhood was developed by the Young family beginning in the early 1980s. The Youngs, Sherwin and Sonny, have been maintaining the road since that time. We believe that the Young family owns the property that includes the right-of-way. It is our understanding that the originally surveyed width meets requirements for a public road. The deeds of each homeowner outline the plan for the town to assume the road, but to date that has not occurred, as we understand it, due to it not meeting town road specifications. Mr. Young states that so long as he is able, he intends to plow the road this year. He also reports that he does not have a plan to prepare the road for town takeover, indicating that he lacks the resources to complete such a project. As neighbors, we want to ensure that the road is maintained to provide continued safe access, not only to the aging residents of the street, but also for any emergency, utility, and service vehicles which may need access. Naturally, we need this assurance and plan in place moving forward should Mr. Young be unable to continue providing the service. Our discussions have led us to weigh 3 possible alternatives to this dilemma that we fear will become a serious problem if left unaddressed. They are as follows. 1. The Young family continues to maintain the road in such a way that the width is maintained and the road sanded as per the town sanding events. This would also include a robust plan for coverage if Mr. Young is unable to do it. The plan should outline succession plans in the event that he is permanently unable to provide the service. Last winter, there were several occasions when vehicles slid into ditches and packages and mail were not delivered due to the narrowness and icy conditions of the road. Obviously, this would need to be addressed if Mr. Young is is to continue as he intends. Second, when Mr. Young is no longer able to satisfactorily maintain the road, the Sonia Lane residents, perhaps via an association, take over responsibility for arranging and funding all maintenance activities. This is an undesirable alternative, as most of us are on fixed incomes, have not budgeted for such an expense, and would be burdened by the added expenses for services that our taxes are already paying for. Sonia Lane residents pay the same municipal tax rate as homeowners on public roads, but do not receive the same benefits. And third, the road becomes prepared by Mr. Young or someone in such a way that the town accepts it as a public road with all of the benefits and responsibility that includes. This, of course, is the favored alternative because it provides a permanent solution to the road maintenance question, and after the initial road prep, relieves the developer, his heirs, and homeowners from the responsibility of road maintenance. Furthermore, our investment will be protected since the road will be maintained like many other public roads in our community. I'll now invite Ed Kelly to read into record an example of our deeds. Thereafter, Alicia Westhoff will list our questions for the board's consideration. And we also will welcome discussion from all the neighbors present if they have anything to add or clarify with what I've just said. Thank you.
I have one question. How many houses are on that road?
6.
And how many representatives of each of those houses are here today?
4.
Well, 5.
In one
Fine.
property,
Oh,
on the last property.
And so like, of the existing homes, there's 3 of us,
4, no,
4 of
well,
us. Of the existing homes.
right.
Okay.
Out of the 6, there's,
And then one property
and
that's
then
not
one
occupied.
property
at the
beyond
moment.
that's
Yes,
not,
right.
doesn't have any development on it.
That's down to the left, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And last question is, have you contacted the other members of that small community, and have they given you an opinion or anything, you know, what their thoughts are on it?
They're aware of what we've done so far. We keep them appraised of what we talk about. They've got their own inputs, but they're reluctant to come to these meetings.
Okay. I just want.
I think everybody's pretty much on the same page as far as that's concerned, but it's just that we're here to voice the initial piece of information for you guys.
Okay.
But just to quickly maybe get a clarification from the board about the deed itself that I have, and it's very similar to every deed on the street that says that upon acceptance of the right-of-way that we've been talking about as a public road and or a street with the town of Clarendon, that Sonny Young, his heirs and assigns, hereby covenant with the grantors, that would be us, or their heirs and assigns, that he will repair and plow the right-of-way referred to above until such time as it's accepted as a town road. And so that leads us to some questions that we have about how that happens and as we move forward.
When you had discussions with Sonny, did he explain what procedures he had to go through to have his road accepted as a town road?
Yeah, he told us a number of different things. I mean, he told us what, I guess he had a conversation with you in the past, Kath, and told us what the conversation was as far as him having to get the road up to specifications.
Right.
But at the same time, we talked about heirs taking over in case he couldn't do any of that. He's not even quite sure what that even means, is what he told me personally. I'm not even quite sure what that means.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so that's kind of where we are. He's just kind of left everything in limbo. So, you know, we wanted to approach the board and maybe have a discussion about that tonight, see what we can come up with for some clarification.
So because I mean, to offer clarity, the most recent would have been Sunny Hill was what the most recent
The last
road that was done.
Correct.
And it was the same scenario. The residents of Sunny Hill got together and saw their deeds, just like you all have, and said, uh-oh, what if something happens? And that's when they got together. And I don't know, I only know one resident up there, so I can't speak, don't take what I say for gospel. But what my understanding was that there was kind of a group of residents that rallied around and met with Sonny and basically helped foot the bill to get the road into proper standards, which ultimately comes out of our road standards from the state. And they did all that and had to put a turnaround in at the top and a whole bunch of stuff. And it was at that point that work was completed that it went through the process to become a town road.
And the word we had on that was that Sonny pretty much financially took care of that himself. Was the word.
Yeah,
So
he
I
didn't
can-
do
I
it
can-
overnight though, I mean.
It was over time, but
Yeah.
let me,
Gotta be
I can reach out to the person I know just to find out because that can be a part of the follow-up, right? I can find out from that resident up there that I know really well. Because they're same kind of deal. It was a little bit different though, that when those residents came down, Sonny was with them and met here and actually met with us and went over a lot of stuff. And there was at least one or two site visits,
Yes,
I
there
think,
were.
too, up there to talk about what that process would look like to make sure it was up to specifications.
Especially at the turnaround at the very end.
Yep.
One of the things that I remember, and one of the suggestions I think I made when I did a little site visit over there, was that the end of your road at that time was swampy and everything else and stuff. And when I got over there to look at it, I saw that it was cleaned up quite a bit and some work filled in and all these kind of things. But I think you should speak to that, because you're used to dealing with the state.
Well, my concern is with like turnaround and stuff like that. You're looking at A&R, and they come in, not only look at the property, but with the soil test, and just up the road up here by my farm, come down around the John Deere dealer, and that big hayfield you see, that's a hayfield. That's considered part of it wetlands, even in the hayfield. So I totally disagree with this, but it's the headwaters of Montpelier and stuff, that it's all within soil types. So my thought is, before it goes, invest too much, might want to consider that. I don't know if it's through an engineer or what on that part.
Well, I know he has that land for sale, and I mean, somebody's gotta know if that's what the soil is like.
Anybody can bring their,
I've already had a wetland survey done by the state of Vermont. It is not wetlands.
it's not,
It
okay?
is not wetlands.
Okay.
I can provide that information if you need it.
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
Because I
that'd be a step in the
have
right
perk
direction, for
testing, I have everything involved in that property because it was part of my 10.1 acres
Uh-huh.
on Bump Road.
So
I then,
what's the location of your property?
Yeah.
there is no location because I can't get one because I don't live there.
Oh,
Is that,
I've asked that prior to now to the town, but I was told because there's no dwelling, there's no number.
Yeah, that's
No.
accurate.
Right.
So that's not connected to
no,
your property then?
yeah, what I'm
It's not-
asking you is.
Yeah, no, I
It's a
understand.
different parcel, right, is what you're saying?
Parcel, 1.2 acres. It's just past Ed.
Mike,
Right,
she's
that-
right next to us. at the
All
end
right,
of the
that's
road.
all the way down on the left,
Yep,
where it goes down the
Correct.
hill a little bit.
at the end?
yep.
Now, also to understand that one of the procedures that you're gonna have to dance through is, to to widen that road, the existing property that you mow and everything else, some of that's gonna be taken up to make a road in there. Cause the town specs, I think, what's it, 34 or 44?
Well, town right away,
Yeah,
48 and a half.
48 and a half. Yeah. And we had to dance that dance up, going up,
For Sonny's.
yes,
Yeah.
Sunny's, but also on, what's it, Bump Road? Didn't we have some issues up on the end with the Phillips property?
I don't recall.
Well, when he sold that off and they put 3 lots, you
Well,
and
they
I
had
went up there and
the
measured.
subdivide and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that, we had to make sure that it's still, that's when they set the new poles in and all this.
So I have a question is, when you first turn onto the road, Sonia Lane, on the right-hand side, that first house, is that landowner here?
Yep.
And when I marked it out, the road right away, well, there's a well there,
Yes,
and we were within
yes.
a couple
I saw
feet of the
that.
well.
Right, and Cash, our well at the end of the, we're at the end of the road. Our well is across the street next to Jane's house, and that was pretty close. That stake-keeper was pretty close to our well.
So if this does go through, you're not concerned about contamination or anything like that with?
Because there'll be
Not-
salt on the road.
Not that
It
it
won't be
says,
salt.
not that we use salt or anything, because being
Oh,
a
that's
dirt
right, or
road,
dirt road,
we use sand only,
sand, right.
but just throwing it out there, that's all.
How deep under that road is the line going to your house?
Well, it's gotta be down over 4 feet, I
Gotta
would
be
think.
5 feet or
Yeah.
something.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's gotta be down.
Is the line of the well under that road?
That's a darn good question.
It's gotta be below the frost line.
So the dirt
Yeah.
road is
Tell
gonna
you
be
it's
deep.
that, but yeah. That's all I can
It's
tell
gonna
you.
be
So,
down
so
there.
looping back to the real crux of everything, like, I mean, I think we're having good discussion, but it sounds like on the Sunny front, if I'm not reading into it, basically that you at this point have kind of hit some roadblocks in that discussion. Is that safe to say? Because I can tell you that, and again, this is my perception. So again, I'm just bringing my perception. I'm not saying that this is definitely, but my take on it when we had the discussion surrounding Sunny Hill was that the residents really had to get forceful and had to say, you're not going to be around forever. We want a resolution because our deeds do say that we will be able to go after your children and after your heirs. And they had to basically get extremely forceful to cause action to happen.
There's a question down.
I know people on Sunny Hill. Do we have, I don't want to ask it, but do we have access to whom that was that led that? Because
Let me find out because I mean I know one of the
I'd be willing.
I know one of the people who was involved. I just don't know
I
if
know
they were the
plenty
lead.
up there.
Yep. Yep.
So
So I mean we can certainly have that discussion.
certainly.
May I share with you the questions that we generated so that you can be thinking about those? And some of those I think have been covered.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep.
So my name is Alicia Westhoff. Question number 1, could you please explain the steps that have been taken when other private roads have been taken over by the town? So we're.
I think we covered that. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you explain what role the state might have to support resolution of these concerns? Are you aware of a successful resolution of similar dilemmas? And it sounds like perhaps you are.
Yep.
Is there any role the town is willing to take that will aid in creating a safe situation for this upcoming winter? Given that our request and hope for town takeover stems from each of and all of our deeds, is there any role that may be appropriate for the town attorney in helping us find a resolution? And does the town have under contract a surveyor that will guide what would be considered the appropriate boundaries of the right-of-way? We had a survey from early 80s that lists the 50-foot width that's required. So that was in there at least for ours, but that's when ours was the only house on the street.
Did we have a survey done on Sunny? I don't remember.
Nope.
On the hill, we
Could
did.
we have a
Oh,
copy
on
of that?
Sunny, up on the hill?
Up on the hill, did that actually formally get surveyed?
That was before my time.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have to check our records on the survey part, because I'm trying to rack my brain if we actually hired a surveyor for that or not. Unfortunately, when you mentioned the question number 2 from the state, and we can check on this, but my understanding, based on what the state would likely say right now, is it's a civil matter, because you have a private owner / developer with private landowners. So the state is likely going to just say it's a private civil matter. That's likely. I mean, we can ask that question, but that's likely the response that even the town's going to get. And actually, talking about our attorney's question, our attorney's going to say, because we've been told this multiple times on other situations, we've been told, nope, the town doesn't step into civil matters because it's ultimately between residents and the town's not actually involved in the dispute.
So
The
the fact that the town is named on each of our deeds
Correct, but the town
does not make you a party to this.
the town simply is stated as when the process happens for it to become a town road. It's not a town road, so it has to go through the process. So that's why I'm saying it likely is going to be treated as a civil response.
And that's incumbent upon the owner of the right of way?
Correct. That would be my understanding, and again, that is a personal understanding. It's not a representation of the town, but personally, that's the way I would
I had a
understand it.
question over here first.
Oh, so I have a statement and a question. First of all, we have reached out to Sonny numerous times because we've been meeting as a group since April. And so we've invited him to our meetings, we invited him tonight. Ed had a quick conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, and it just didn't go anywhere. Number two is, the question is, he claims that he can't get sand unless he pays for it. I don't know how much, I mean, Sonia Lane isn't that big, so I don't know how much sand he's looking for, but is that, I know we can go get sand, right,
Yes.
for free?
Yes.
Right,
Out here, yes.
okay. So what is the issue with Sonny getting the sand?
Well,
You
the
know?
other thing is,
He's
you run
For
into
Sonia Lane.
the issue of almost out for hire and doing a complex instead of your own driveway.
Oh.
Am I saying that right?
And we also ran into, and this was a while ago, so this was before Cash was on the board, so he's probably not even aware of this, but we had an issue where the town's insurance company advised that the town loader should never be loading a private individual's
So we can
vehicle.
come get sand for our personal driveway, but not for a road.
That's the correct. And I mean I don't want to get into the business deep here because, like I say, this is really between you guys and him. But I mean, I assume, or maybe there's not. Is there maintenance charges yearly, or is it just the initial? This is
in the
the
deed.
setup. It's just the deed. Okay.
It was
Makes
a
sense.
free,
Okay.
free service for
Basically, a
drivers.
free service is being in the
It's his
development.
private road.
Well, it's his road.
Yeah, and it's his road.
Right.
Yeah.
Road.
And I think that's
I
why,
think conceptually, he has a problem with it too, though, because as you said to me, for quite some time, he was plowing the driveways. We were paying him to plow driveways on that street.
Sure.
Since time's gone on, he's not plowing the driveways anymore. We have somebody else plowing them.
Yep.
He just was bringing, what it turned out to be for my property, I can't speak for the others, but I mean, he'd bring his big plow in and it's almost too big to use in my driveway, and
Sure.
so, and he didn't have any other alternative for it, and so he's not plowing our driveway anymore, but his comment to me was that, you know, I've, up until recently, been able to make money plowing that street, but now I have to plow it for free.
So
Which is kind of ironic when
Yeah.
you think about it, but.
My commitment to you all is to follow up, and I'll, at least one of the individuals that was involved from Sunny, I can put you in contact with so that you can ask some questions about what it was. And like I say, my understanding was it did have to come down to, listen, the day's coming where we're gonna be going after your heirs to do this. Let's get this resolved so that we don't have to get to that point. So,
As Mike knows, my father worked many years in the right-of-way department, and he has read the deed, he has come here, he has read everything to do with our road. And I am positive all of us are in the same boat of, we don't want to take out of our pocket when it is clearly written black, white, of his obligation, wasn't ours, what he obligated to us as we purchased. So my father's, again, advised that he's just putting it down to where you said Sonia Lane was.
sure.
And forcing, which is not the proper channel, proper anything as a business person.
Sure.
I've been fighting with him for years, since I bought that place on Bump Road.
Sure, and again, that's why I'm saying, like, I firmly believe that the state's response to us would be, you're really talking about a civil matter, right?
It is unfortunately at this point stuck, because as of what you've just said,
unless legal action
correct.
occurs. Yep.
One of the unfortunate things in this whole story is
That's
that
help I can.
Sonny is a very talented builder, and he's done work for me. But I suspect at the time that these deeds were negotiated that he figured he was going to live forever and keep making income forever, so that he would be able to keep up with his work on maintaining the road. Unfortunately, he's a year younger than I am, so that would make him about 83, I think. So I suspect that there's a limit on his ability physically to do stuff at some point, and it's really a sad thing. On the town side, one of the things that we have to keep in mind as we work on anything dealing with roads, private roads particularly, is that we have a great many private roads in town. So, you know, if we end up doing anything, we're going to say, well, where's mine? So that's a struggle in terms of being responsible to the taxpayers. In terms of what we were doing when you came in was working on the next budget. And so that's something that we have to be very aware of. And again, it's a sad situation, but I have to agree with my colleague over here in terms of, you got to meet with Sonny and see what you can hammer out for some kind of a solution, and I'm not sure what that will be. I have no idea what his resources are at this point.
The other thing that I would say too is that when it came down, at least I was on the board when we did the hill. This board, you know, once the parties were all together and once there was a path of action forward, I think the town was very understanding and was like, okay, we understand that this is going to be a step-by-step process before officially it's going to be on the books, but we are willing to work together to get to that point if there's an agreement and a direction to go. And I mean, I'm only one person, and it obviously takes a vote, but I would tell you that, you know, if that's the direction this goes, I mean, I don't see that going any differently this time around.
Yep.
I think this board would be very understanding and try to aid, you know, it's not going to be heavy financial aid, obviously, but at least support the efforts and have agreements in place so that hopefully some, you know, you talk about in your questions, kind of like mile markers, so to speak, of how are we going to get there. So, you know, this is benchmark 1, this is benchmark 2, you know, like this is how we're going to make it to that point. And I think the board's going to be supportive and going to help as best as we can to at least support that effort. Again, not necessarily financial, but at least support it.
There's a question.
So, you said that at the end of the road, there would need to be a roundabout.
It's a turnaround, right?
Turnaround.
For the truck.
Okay,
Yep.
I am the last property, and Sonny owns the rest of it. So, is that something you would need to do, Cash? Or whom would be?
Are you saying to put it in?
Who would be able to tell me,
What's needed?
kind of?
So,
I mean, am I going to lose
have
part
a-
of the
There-
land?
there was a
how is it
meeting.
going to-
I can tell you that a turnaround had to happen on Sunny Hill. That was part of the process, and there was a meeting that occurred, and it was basically marked out, and it was agreed on by everybody. It was looked at, it was agreed on, and that's how that played out.
There are drivable trails out through right now.
I wanna say approximately, don't hold me to it, around 60-foot circle,
60-foot circle.
roughly. And that's
To make the
to
turnaround,
make
right?
the turnaround.
Yep.
That's for the big truck.
But each
Well,
property
that,
owner, not
Ranger,
just you,
whatever.
each property owner is
Oh,
going to have to
Widen as
that.
well, yes,
You're
yes,
gonna lose some
Some frontage.
your
Sure,
property
some
line.
frontage, yeah.
yes.
Yes,
I would like to say we're not going to lose property because it doesn't belong to us. The 50 feet
yeah.
is already
Is a
there.
part of the right of way already.
It doesn't
Yeah,
belong to us.
that makes sense.
It may be that grass has eased in, but it's not ours to own.
you're actually paying right to the road though.
You guys get,
Paying for,
Somebody's paying for that. Sonny's don't get a separate bill for that road. You know what I mean?
No.
Right?
What do you mean?
Sonny don't get tax bill for the road.
Sure, it's
Somebody
it's,
does.
It's in his
It's his
tax.
property.
It's in his
That's
taxes.
included, okay. That's both
He has
parts.
so many.
Yeah, no, that's part of his
total.
taxes.
He owns the
Okay.
property,
Yep.
doesn't matter if it's the road or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he gets taxed on it.
That's-
Just like you technically own the property that's under the road connecting your farm from either side.
Right,
We just have the right of way
correct.
of the road, but you
Right.
own
Correct.
what's under it.
Everybody owns the center line, right?
yeah.
But I met with
On a town road.
property owner house on each side of the road. It's gotta
Yeah,
meet somewhere.
How important, did anybody consider when you have your group meetings, the possibility of saying to Sonny, okay, we'll hire somebody to maintenance that and split the cost, and you stay off the road?
no, because I think our position's been that, as was stated before, that in the deed, it says that he's in perpetuity, it's his deal to make sure that road is taken care of. And his heirs after he's gone, and that was the conversation I had with him, and I said, Sonny, none of us are getting any younger, like you were saying, you know, and, you know, we just wanna know what your plan is moving forward.
And the meeting with Jay was canceled.
And
What was that?
basically, I don't think he's thought that far ahead, to be honest, and I just
sure he
think that
hasn't.
he's
So-
like,
Avoiding.
So I will tell you, from my perspective, what you folks are here doing tonight is a mirror of what occurred across the way.
Okay.
So I just want to state
What I
that
thought.
that very much
What I
it's a in my opinion this is deja vu. Like this is the exact same thing. So
Yep.
There's one thing
Oh, go ahead.
sorry. I just pulled the report. There's 36 private roads in the town. 36 of them. If we start,
Are they owned by someone other than the people who live on the road?
they are, well, depends on the location and stuff like that.
variety of owners.
Variety owners.
yeah, it's a variety of.
I mean,
Yeah.
Horton Road is a goodie.
You had a question though.
I was just gonna say, we know someone who lives on Sunny Hill, and they didn't pay anything towards that.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe it was just like a separate group of people?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I can put you in contact with my contact, and at least you might be able to find some things out because I know he was very much at the center
So
of it.
you would say then that it's a civil matter in as much as if Sonny is telling us that at this point, I mean, not in so many words, but I just cannot afford to do what you want me to do to make that road ready for the town. Then that just totally leaves the town off the hook and it becomes a civil matter between the people on that street and Sonny Young, is that?
That would be my understanding of it.
Exactly.
It's a civil matter between
Same
the
thing as Sunny Hill.
it's a civil matter for you, yeah, between the two owners, but well, multiple owners, right? I mean, there's multiple of you plus you're dealing with him as the owner of the right of way. So, and again, you have the at least based on our understanding, based on what you have in your deeds, you have the black and white on your side. I mean,
Yes,
ultimately.
So did they. It's, yeah,
So,
just like Brenda, just like, yeah.
And that's why we brought up the sand issue, because, I mean, you explained it to us, but because, I mean, his whole response to me when I said that, you know, it rains, it freezes, the road gets dangerous, it's not being sanded, and his response is that he can't afford to buy the sand from the town of Clarendon, and that's why it's not being done.
But it's a
We don't have
celebration.
sand for sale.
Well, or can't get, or he would have to go somewhere else to get the
correct,
sand.
he'd have to go get loaded
Local
somewhere.
quarry or something like that.
Carrera, every other person.
Well, that's, yeah, so, right, so I mean, it's just that he says he can't afford to do it, so
And
that's
thank,
where we are.
But wouldn't that be a good counter argument to him giving up the road and say, you know, technically we just
He
discussed
would load
that
up
he's
his pickup and
probably
spray it
paying
by hand.
taxes
With
on that
Heidi
anyway.
on the back
So,
shoveling the
you
sand.
know, those kind of arguments or discussions.
I understand, but you have to, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You don't want him giving you the road until it's, you know, it's got to be ready to go. You want it as a town road, you know, up to spec and ready to be maintained, and that's clearly not where it is right now. So,
Do we have those specs? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Do we have the exact specifications of what needs to happen?
That's
Not
part
in
of what we're hoping
Not
to
in
get
writing.
in writing.
Is that something we can get?
that's something we'll have to work on,
Thought
right?
we
Caches,
already
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, didn't
Well,
I
not-
give you
nothing
some
in writing.
paperwork?
We
had looked it up. I don't have it handy.
Okay.
So we'll
We can get it.
we'll pull that.
Yeah, we can.
It literally it's based on the state road standards, right? That's what you're
Yes.
pulling from. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
State road standards.
Yep. Vermont has state road standards that Clarendon signs on to. That's
Class roads,
well, it's an agreement, and it has to do with our grant money. And basically, any roads in the town are supposed to, if they have work done, they're supposed to be maintained at the state specifications. So it's
The width, everything.
the whole 9 yards. It's literally like one of those things we sign every year that comes across the desk that we're going to maintain the state standards when it comes to our roads. So
so this might be kind of a funny question, but is there a grant that would help us?
that would be a state question. That might be, you know, Department of Transportation or, you know, agent. Well, I don't think it would be. I mean, V-Trans is a subsidiary, but I mean, you'd have to research with the state. And certainly, you know, you asked that question, I think, was, you know, what types of things can the state do? That's a question you're just going to have to call up there and get somebody that's relatively high up and be like, you must deal with this other parts of the state.
Right.
What do you do? You know, what is your advice? You know, is there a process that they recommend? Or, you know, you made mention of aid. Is there legal aid that they would legally attempt to find a resolution?
Would the League of Cities and Towns be a helpful resource with that?
Potentially. I mean, certainly when it comes to the town, that's part of who we would reach out to. So, I mean, that they may have suggestions as well. Remember, the league is a separate entity. So, I mean, they're not going to be able to. They'll be able to give you some advice, but they're not going to give you the official line like the state's going to, potentially out of the Department of Transportation or whoever you get.
I have a question, if I may.
Match. So you might have
I'm-
to do like a 20% match.
I'm not on the road, but I'm a
It's not
taxpayer.
all free.
How many of the 36 private roads does the town plow?
None.
None.
Zero.
So if this were to go through, you're setting a precedent that 35 other roads are gonna try to,
Mm-hmm.
That's
They just have to
that's
bring it
the
up to
way it's
standard.
been done.
As long as it's set up to specs,
It has to
wouldn't
come up to
matter.
specs. That's the way
That's
that
the
it's
only,
worked.
that's
Thank
the
you.
only thing.
Yeah, they're gonna have to have the same improvements on their road that
Subject to
we
the same
we
specs.
require.
but they'd want the same outcome, I'm sure.
It's like the town paying for town garbage, but they only do your side with garbage pickup,
Pretty
not
much.
shipping outside.
Yeah, okay.
Fair one.
Just a quick Google search said that grants for private landowners for road development are rare. However, the USDA does offer rural development programs
Rural
for infrastructure.
Yes,
So that
that's
might
true.
development.
I would maybe contact the USDA and see.
Thanks, Heidi. And thank you, Cash, for sanding that one time last year.
Yeah.
That was one time.
Sonny let us know that.
Unfortunately, that is now on camera.
That's
Well,
recorded,
yeah.
now it's gonna be more work.
Well, I didn't, with
I
the,
haven't seen one.
no offense, the aging population, I didn't want anybody to fall down and get hurt.
Yeah.
God damn.
And you know from experience about this aging?
I'm getting there.
Have we covered everything? Is it that where
Thank
you?
you for your time and attention, and,
Okay.
yeah, I think if we can get a copy of those, specs,
Well,
that would be
that's
great.
on Kim's list, and, yep,
Perfect.
so Kim's got that, and.
The USDA,
Yeah, and
That-
Heidi mentioned USDA.
I got that USDA Rural Development Plan.
rural development.
Cash, I'm aged, next time there's ice needs up to my house.
Is that a private road over there?
No,
I got
it's not.
400 feet of driveway.
Yeah, how long is your driveway?
It's,
Yeah, that's close to it.
the water don't get that high.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Push
My
you guys
driveway's
along.
long enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long haul, I think.
Are you gonna keeping us aware of what process is going through and if you,
We invited him tonight.
yeah. But let's see what happens if we can.
Do you want the state name of who did my site survey?
Pardon?
I think that'll be down the road.
Wetlands? Okay, I
thi-
know,
yeah.
okay, so just hold that.
Because
so you'll
ultimately,
need it
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I would
later.
suggest.
Later.
Yeah,
You can go to the A&R Atlas map and look that stuff up.
yeah, well, but they always tell you, don't go by those maps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a starting point.
it's a starting point, but they always tell you, don't hold on to that, yep.
One last question that we had, quickly, just on a liability issue, is, you know, that, if something were to happen where somebody did get injured because of the way the road's not being taken care of, does it just fall right on his shoulders?
Civil.
Or is the town,
Civil.
the town,
Whoever the property owner is.
And so Ed, just so you know, the questions you are asking is my understanding of what allowed a lot of pressure to be placed across the way.
Right, and since we're the last ones on the road, God forbid an ambulance can't get down there.
Sure.
And something happens.
Yep. So the fact of those being civil matters right now is what allowed a lot of pressure to be placed to get
Yep.
it resolved.
Understand.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hopefully helped out.
Thank you for coming down. Thank you.
It's in Luke, though. So if there's anything that-
I have your list of questions.
All right, thank you.
It's unfortunately what I was thinking.
Cash, you have anything else under highway?
I'm good.
You're good?
Cutting out the lights.
Yeah. All right, we'll have select board warrants.
Right here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right here, if
Kim?
anybody wants to look at them, see how we're spending your money.
Folks, I think can use your names.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Go past gas light. I don't think there's anybody else.
Nope.
Any more public comments? Anybody?
Okay.
It is football season, so it's.
What's your point?
Got it.
Are the Patriots playing tonight? Huh?
The Jets.
What?
Okay, so
Yeah, I
our
know.
next item, my understanding was there was an error last meeting on our emergency management appointments. We had swapped the people. So I would make a motion that we sign the new reappointment form with the corrections of Matt Jacobowski as the lead and Craig Knapp as the alternate.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Errors right there.
That's
That's
the
that one right there.
Then what the hell is this?
This
that's
is
the
next.
errors and omissions report. That's Kevin, my friend over there.
Yep, so that one right there.
There you go.
Matt's not here.
Errors and omissions certificate to be signed by select board. But
That's Kevin.
Right. It's the third one this year since the grand list on that parcel. It's a utility, and this is the first year the state gives us the numbers. Used to be, once again, the utilities used to report directly to us. Now they come from the state, and so you did one,
Mm-hmm.
you've done two. So they came down with new numbers a week or so ago. So we had an
no, that's just
adjustment to the grand list.
that's what it paid on. Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
On the back page, I guess, is where you sign.
Oh, it is.
Okay, I'll make a motion that the entire board sign the error and omissions
Second.
documentation.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Right, as you see on the front side, underneath the reason, it says as directed by the state.
Mm-hmm. Next one seems pretty easy. I'll make a motion that we allow the Clarendon Fire Department to hang the wreath on the Kingsley Covered Bridge.
We'll second that.
Second that, yep.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Anyone opposed? You had that?
It's gotta go back here. Other side.
Right.
Other side over here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You would have cleaned that up. Here, George.
Got it.
What was this other paper? Did you guys take that?
You're good.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
That one's done.
Yeah,
There.
you're good.
You're down here.
Yeah, discussion on the subject of creation of a no hunting ordinance at the Clarendon Recreational Fields on 7B. Want to speak to that at all, Sarah?
Oh,
I mean, I think everyone knows about it by now. Basically, all the other towns have ordinances that you can't hunt in the parks or recreation fields, which I'm in support of because there's plenty of places to hunt that aren't in parks where kids are playing. And so there's been a gentleman there hunting that I talked to, and he said he looked things up and said that this was the only place without an ordinance, and that's why he came here to hunt.
Well, I mean, some of these sample ordinances are way overkill for what we're talking about.
Yeah, the LCT.
So I want to, I mean,
Similar to our cause.
yeah, so I mean, the reality is, like, we're not talking all town property. We've got the town forest that obviously we're not changing a thing. And I know that the real concern that got brought up was specific to the fields. So again, just some of these seem crazy for what we're talking about. So,
That sounds crazy.
excuse me?
I said the whole thing sounds crazy. Can I speak now, or are we still?
Sure.
No, go
Okay,
ahead.
my name's Mark Truhan. I'm a town resident, and for the last 2.5 years, I've been walking my dog on the town field. And it's broken up into two. You've got a lower field, which is inundated with water every time it rains. You get the upper field where the ball, usable baseball diamond is. In 2.5 years, I have never seen a hunter hunting those fields. They will park a car, and usually in the upper field, because the lower field is fenced off, and then they will walk into the fields to the south of it or to the west or even up and down the road, but they are not in the ball fields themselves. And I've never seen a hunter with a rifle. I've seen a hunter with a bow and arrow. And that is fine. I've never seen any kids playing in the lower field in 2.5 years. Barely any in the upper field in 2.5 years. And I think putting that restriction is going to limit the number of people who can use that for other things, such as walking dogs. I have run into more people walking dogs than I have throwing baseballs. So I would say that this is not necessarily a useful ordinance for the town of Clarendon. The fencing off the lower field or putting a gate that locks would be fine, because it keeps the druggies out of there, keeps the drunks out of there. This afternoon, there were still 12 empty Arizona hard iced tea cans thrown in the bushes. So you've got creeps and drunks and druggies who are using the lower field. They park in so you can't see them. In the upper field, you have people coming from Innovation Park, parking in the upper field just to get away from there for a quiet lunch. And other than that, you have people that walk their dogs, and that's it. There are plans, as I understand, Sarah, that maybe someplace in the lower field to accommodate the collection of water, that a pond to be made, which would give kids something to, frogs to chase in the summer, and someplace to ice skate in the winter, which would be nice. But to close off the entire thing from the road, from is it East Clarendon, RB7?
B7B.
Route 7B, is nonsensical. I have driven since we had the Veterans Day observation and the flag. Almost every day I've driven by that field to walk my dog, and it has been chained off because a new gate was put up across the entrance. Today it was open. I don't know what the schedule is, but the sign says closed dawn till dusk, or dusk until dawn. The times I've been at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's locked up, but it's not dusk. 10 o'clock in the morning, it's locked up, but it's not dawn. So I don't know what the schedule is, but I would be objectionable to that road being closed off. If you want to make some type of consideration, and I think it's already covered, that you can't hunt on the ball field, well, that just made common sense. Nobody hunts on a ball field, unless you're out of New York State, but that's just me. So that's what I wanted to say when I burst in here last Monday, and that this thing is rather nonsensical and not needed.
Sarah, do you want to, as chair of the rec committee, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, first of all, Mark, I do apologize. I didn't even think about, because we had a big old meeting about it, and so I didn't even think about putting up a note on why it was closed, and it would not be a permanent situation.
There's no public notice, as far as I know.
You're right, and I should have put public notice. I do apologize for that.
So
That's
it
my
should
bad.
be open tomorrow.
Well, so let me finish what I have to say.
Please.
So, we did have a meeting about it in
we,
the
if I may
the
ask?
entire town on Monday night. What was that, a month ago, or? It's recorded. It was at one of the meetings. We had a meeting about putting the gate up after the event.
When Sarah came and asked.
Due to the fact that we're trying to deter some of the drug and drinking use that's going on there.
Right.
And I have talked to 4 or 5 sheriffs in the area who've asked me to do this. So this is an ongoing thing that we started talking about last year doing.
Right.
And so it's not something that I want to permanently see either. I want people to be able to walk it and use it, but for now, what we talked about is getting it up for just this winter until we have it open for winter use, so that we can deter some of the people who are hunting in there. And other people who are
Who's
going in
hunting?
to drink.
If I may ask, sir, I'm gonna
Tim
interrupt
is
right
the
now.
main person in
There's
there
one guy,
hunting.
his name is Tim. He goes there and he's got a red Toyota that's kind
Yeah.
of beat up. He has a bow and arrow. He
Yeah.
walks into the woods on the far side of the back field,
Well-
and he's the only hunter, and it's got a bow and arrow. He says he has seen, we've seen deer, but it's not in the woods. He's seen bear in the wood line separating the upper field from the
I have
transfer
spoken
site.
with Tim on numerous occasions.
You've spoken
With-
to him every time,
With
yeah.
the sheriff.
With the
And our
sheriff.
conversation maybe was not as the same as your conversation, so maybe there's some things which I'm
My
not gonna put out
conversation
on
is an
public
observation
TV.
of a practical experience, because I have been there. My dog walks both fields. There's a guy
Yeah.
named Pete, runs his blind dog up there. There's a guy named
Yeah.
Pete who has 2 golden retrievers who runs down there. There's a guy named Glenn with another dog named Smokey.
So, and I'm gonna be honest about that too. I'm struggling with the fact that there's poop all over the fields. And since I pass there 3 times a day and people are using it as a dog park to run their dogs and poop
Right.
all over the fields, we have had so many hours during our rec committee meetings about what to do about this. Like, keep dogs on leash, let's put bags out. We want to accommodate dogs, we want to accommodate people. And historically, that park has been open and people have been able to do whatever they want. So I
much.
understand the transition is going to be difficult, but there is going to be a transition.
Why?
And if because it's not, it's not fair for me to go out and my baseball kids to step in piles of poop And I watch it, people let their dogs out. You're not one of those people. I watch you let your dog out and pick it up. However, other people are letting their dogs out to poop all over the fields. That's not why they're there. If we want a dog park, I'm willing to look into that, but this is not a dog park. And historically, it has not been used, but we're getting it open for use for people. And when we put up a boundary, is to let the good in and keep the bad out. And unfortunately, right now, we've got
Blocking the front
more
gate is not
bad.
putting
Let me
up a
finish my
boundary for the
statement,
good.
please. Let me finish my statement. There's more bad coming in than good, and we need to get some of that out, set a very clear boundary about what's going to take place in that park, and then we can reopen it back up. And I want to do that as soon as possible.
I'd love to see the sheriff stop by a little more frequently. At
I would
noon,
too.
after the sun goes down and before it comes up, that back field, which is now locked up, but it's not, I don't think it is, that's where the druggies and everybody else and the drunks have been hanging out. The upper
Yeah.
field is in sight, and to have the sheriff visit that from time to time would be really nice.
And they've been there, and you can see that I've been trying to, since I've been there, I've taken out all those trees. We've been locking the back gate. It's not working, which is why I'm going to try to put in a front gate. I've talked to the sheriff. I've asked them to go check out the park. And so we're working on all these things, but for right now, it feels like the solution is to lock it for the winter, see what happens, and reopen it again, and not have to do this if we can send a clear message that that's not going to take place
Well,
in the
that's not a
park.
solution. That's a rough idea that's denying the people the ability to park there. Heavy snow, don't plow it.
Yeah.
They won't pull in. But, kids snowshoe, kids do cross-country ski out there. Us dog walkers still walk the dog in the snow. But by putting up a gate between the main highway and the up parking lot, no, I can't buy that in the least. No, I'm not supporting your contention. Yes, it is a problem. The entire county has a problem with that. I live across from a Mormon church, and the druggies love to hang out in the back of the Mormon church, throw their needles, and they throw their beer cans, and they throw their drink cans all over the place, and I pick them up. But doing that at the field to deny the people who, the good ones, like you say, thank you for telling me that I'm among those groups that I pick up the food my dog does. That's nonsensical. That doesn't make sense, and I wouldn't abide by it. That's just me.
I appreciate your opinion. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys can go ahead and say what you need to say on it.
Well, I think you've got a valid point, but I think your concern is the hunting more than anything.
There's no
This is what
hunting.
we're talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah. You're concerned about somebody in the woods taking a shot, say in a westerly direction, and somebody being there. That's your big concern, right, Sarah? As far as the hunting goes.
Yes, that's one of my main concerns. Absolutely.
As far as the other stuff, we're not really talking about that, right? Whether it makes a difference or not, whether we're talking about it or not, it has been brought up. But I think that's the big concern is the firing of guns in the area.
Or bows. I mean, I think it's both the same, and the consensus from everybody I've
There's a big
talked to
difference.
in the town has agreed with that. It's not just me saying I don't want. I came and asked other people in the town, to see.
Who have you talked to, sir?
And well, we
Have
had
you
a
talked to people like me? You didn't approach me. You didn't approach Tim, the hunter. You did not
I did approach Tim. I've had numerous conversations with him.
He
Yes,
carries
I
a
know.
bow and arrow.
Yes, I know exactly what he carries.
Yeah, and he doesn't carry a rifle.
Me and Tim
Nobody
have
has carried a rifle.
had numerous conversations.
Nobody's shooting from the woods up onto the field.
If there's a deer there, somebody might.
Pardon?
If there's a deer there, somebody might,
Well, like I said, it's stupid people that come from elsewhere.
Going by.
But I'm upset that this was not brought to the town's attention for
I
a
did-
greater dissemination
I
of
did go
your
straight
idea.
to the town. I know my chain of command. I came straight to the town with this. This was not a decision I made on my
Right.
own. I
I
came
think-
straight to
Well,
the
I
town.
didn't see it.
And it's on a meeting, and it was probably, I don't know if it was a month ago, it was before 11/11, but it was brought to the town. Of course it was. I wouldn't do this on my own.
It's possible to send it out to everybody, something this conspicuous.
And that's
I
something you
received
gotta
a
talk to
survey
the town
from the
about.
town in the mail, so that's common. You have the ability to
But
contact
to send
all
that
the
survey
town.
out costs our planning commission $1,500. Like, that's not something that my rec committee can do. So I
Okay.
understand, that's what I'm saying to you.
I
Maybe
guess I
can
can't,
post.
the thing is, I can't argue the point, because I don't have any decision-making powers other than being very verbal. And the fact is, I think the whole idea that somebody would be shooting on a baseball field is kind of ludicrous, even here in Clarendon. The people who are against it, I have my own opinion of the people who would be against it.
You have a
would
question?
wanna close that park down. And
used to
we're
be
not
able-
necessarily the people I would be
Hold on a
friendly
second,
with.
go ahead.
You used to be able to get signs that said, no hunting or fishing,
Yeah,
and then it stated, I believe it was either on the top or the bottom, that hunters or fishermen would be trespassing. Now, it wasn't posting your property, it was just stating that you weren't allowing hunting or fishing on your property. And I believe that we used to have to register it with the town, just the same as we do when we post our property.
right.
In order to make it stand in court.
Which right now, the meeting where this was discussed, the only action the board took at that time was we said we were gonna post that property. That was our first step.
Okay, well,
Just-
don't lock it off with gates.
So that's a separate issue. And again, like Don said, I think you've brought up some valid points about that. We're really talking about two separate things. Like the hunting piece, at this point, the board has voted to post it because we wanted to make sure that we were taking a step in that direction. Again, no other town property is going to be posted. We've not, like the town forest where hunters go regularly, we're not doing anything there. This was just in conjunction with the rec fields. That was the only direction. The separate piece that, again, I hear you tonight about the closing of it off, that's a separate piece that I think needs some more discussion, because you're right, there are winter things that folks are going to do, and if the weather's good enough, the dogs, and I think, yeah, I honestly have not been over there in a long time, but getting bags out and getting signs out that say clean up after your dog.
We've got the bags out and there's no signs that say no hunting, but the signs do say this will be open at a specific time and it's padlocked. Well, it's not actually padlocked, the chain is just wrapped around the two portions of the gate so you can take it off and go in, but the
issue
people I
is
know
we
aren't
have no one
doing
to
that.
open it and close it, and I can't go dawn and dusk and open and close that all the time. So this
Well,
was
leave
the
it open.
discussion.
Lock the
that we
bottom
had.
one and leave the top one.
And one of the particular people was there overnight numerous times and dealt with the sheriff. He would refuse to leave the park, and that was an issue, and I confronted him numerous times, and this is most of the reason this whole thing is going down, because of the person that wanted to hunt and was staying in the backwoods and brushing his teeth and changing in his car and doing things. And I witnessed this and the sheriff witnessed this, so I was not going to say that, but there it is. Tim was going there overnight a lot of the time and not leaving, and so this is why this whole thing is coming up.
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Somebody talk to Tim.
Question, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that we have a issue that needs more discussion before it's resolved, I would guess. But at this point, we've plowed the same ground several times, and I'm not sure that we're being productive in any way.
Well, so diving into that, George, I think the reality is I'm not willing to take any action on any of these sample ordinances tonight.
I agree.
They're not anything that we're looking for. So that's a separate discussion. At this point, we've voted to post the property. So that's there. The land around it, I think it's notable to mention. And I know one of the mornings that I was heading to the transfer station, I saw at least an individual with a bow and arrow walking to the next door property, not ours, and going in like behind, down the further section. So maybe the fact that we've made some changes, maybe that's part of that. I don't know. And also, just having been a resident here obviously all my life, there's nothing barring somebody from hiking into the neighboring properties that are not posted from the rest area on the Route 7 side either. So I mean there's certainly access, I think, hunting wise, and the separate issue that you're saying is the locking, and I think that needs a bigger discussion and a solution so
Absolutely.
that there's usage for residents who ultimately support that effort with their tax dollars to have access to town property, and coming up with a solution for that is, I think, the next step on this.
Sounds reasonable.
And as far as I'm concerned, right now, I'm not interested in pursuing either. I don't like these sample ordinances. I don't have any interest in pursuing these at this time. So
Does that mean the gate will be unlocked? and
That's-
left open?
That's gonna be the next discussion, is what I'm saying. That's a separate discussion from what's on our
I go
agenda.
tomorrow morning at dawn and open it, will it be locked or open?
I thought you said it was
Until this is
I
resolved.
thought you said it was unlocked, all you have to do is unwrap the chain.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to
Right.
do that, you know, I'd be accused of violating whatever signs they have down there.
Well, if it's after dusk to dawn, if it's between those hours, you're completely.
Be the first one to open it.
If I'm the first one open, I wrap the chain around it, then I drive through and
If it's open from dusk till dawn is what the sign
it's
says.
supposed to be.
And we
then
do
you're
still have
perfectly legal to go there.
we do still have gates on the lower field at this
Yep,
point.
and
Yes.
they're locked.
Okay,
Both
so those are locked.
Those are locked, and that's fine, because that's where the malcontents happen, you know.
That's where the issues are.
That's where the issue is with the,
Yeah,
you
I
know, the
thought-
whack jobs we have in this community from elsewhere.
I caught a couple people back there.
Yeah, you know what I
And they
mean.
worked, two of them were having a good time, let's say that, in their
Right.
backseat of their car, and they worked over in the industrial park.
Yeah, well,
So
that's a different kind of enjoying your lunch, I guess.
Mr. Chairman, at this
Probably.
time, I'm gonna make a motion that we table the
Second.
hunting ordinance.
Seconded. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Did you have a question, sir?
Yeah, Kurt Stanley. Is it okay if he goes over after dawn and opens the gate?
Just open, you know, park my car in front, open the gate, drive through and
I
park,
think that's.
and
the
leave it
chair of the-
open?
I mean, that, I
It's
think
not
that's
locked
up
up.
to the rec committee.
What do you say to
Do
that?
do we overrule it?
Well, I mean, if it's posted as being open,
It is, right on the big sign.
if it's on the sign, that's the other reality.
If it's posted, you have to live by it.
That's right.
Right.
That's
I
right.
wouldn't want to see the sign
Right.
taken down because of this
Like
discussion
stop
this
sign
evening.
says stop, it doesn't say go.
Let's say slow down.
Yeah.
I think for right now, we gotta abide by what the signage says, and if there's gonna be further discussion,
Yep.
then there's gonna have to be further discussion.
I mean, if you go to
What
the
do you
rest
say to
areas
that?
on Route 7,
Yeah.
those say open dusk. The one on Route 4 also says open from dusk till dawn. There's no gate there or anything.
There's no gate.
It's just the signage says. And, you know, it's up to you whether you obey that or if you get caught in there after dark,
Well,
then,
no, obeying letters on the sign has been proven to be not,
well,
yeah,
if
sign
you get caught
doesn't
in there,
apply
there
to
could be some
anybody.
consequences.
I
Is-
understand.
Sarah, what's your opinion after,
My opinion is, yeah, first of all, we're not locking it. It's just dummy locked, so someone could go in and out. My opinion is much different because I drive by it all the time and there's very few people using it in the winter as of now. And so I would say lock it to deter everything, but that would be my opinion. And also I want to go back and look at the video, but you guys were pretty clear on, we want an ordinance saying no hunting in that park. In fact, you said to post it. That was decided on. Whether the gate was discussed or not.
We voted to post it, yes, but what I'm saying is these ordinances are not what we
Yeah,
want.
so-
That's why we're tabling that.
I would like, though, there still to be my vote is definitely still have an ordinance. People do not need to be hunting in there. And we hunt. I'm not saying that. There's plenty of places to go, though, and it doesn't need to be in that park because it's so far. And when I talked to Tim, I was like, hey, Tim, as a hunter, the polite and respectful thing to do is go talk to the people who own the property and ask them. He is not willing to do that. He's not even from Clarendon. And so, that's targeting a park. Was aggressive with me numerous times, aggressive with the officer. That's not the kind of hunter I want in the park. Is that every hunter? I don't know, but can we decipher, who's good and who's not, and say, I'm going to pick who can come in? No, at this point in time, there's one person hunting there that's not respectful, that's unwilling to come talk to the select board or ask the town, and that's not okay. That's not respectful hunting, and so no, he should not be allowed in the
But
park.
I would not want to see that park closed because of one confrontation with one person. As one
To
person
hunting.
out of thousands that live here and tens of thousands that live in the county. That's nonsense. No, I'm not going to cave in for
on a
one
short
person.
term, can we pick up 3 or 4 posted signs?
You're gonna need more than that.
No,
Right, and that's
Just on the
we
road.
discussed this at the last meeting, so I am not willing to walk the 20-some acres to post a sign on every 7A all over, because Tim's the kind of person, he's gonna look for the hole, because that's the way he is. He's looking to take something. Now, is that every hunter? Absolutely not, but that's the way Tim is, and that's why this whole thing is starting, because I asked if he could be trespassed, and the sheriffs, I've talked to 3 sheriffs about it, I talked to you guys about it, nobody was willing to trespass him. And he makes people uncomfortable. And that's where we're at, and that's why the whole thing, was decided like, hey, let's just lock it down, because there's people going in there drinking, doing drugs. I'm not seeing any families hanging out in that park. The only person I see that's walking the dog is Mark, and then the other guys who let the dogs out and they run all over and poop in the fields. So for me, it's like 80% bad, and the 20% that's good that's there right now. That's why it was locked down for the winter. Now, absolutely, at this point in time, it's been over discussed. So yeah, let's just leave the dummy lock on. If Mark wants to go in and out, absolutely, he can use it. But I would appreciate it if people like Tim were actually dealt with. And that's a sheriff issue.
Right.
And they're not doing their job.
And Sarah, remember our conversation we had, that meeting that you were here. Any land public is allowed to be hunted on
Unless there's an ordinance.
without permission.
Unless there's an ordinance.
Unless there's an ordinance, of
That's
course.
why we went back to the ordinance.
Or if it's posted, it cannot be hunted on.
Which is why we took
Which
the
is
step
why
to
we
post
took
it.
we took the steps to post it, because someone has to go around every 400 feet,
Exactly.
put a sign up around that property.
And that's all
And
on
that's-
7 too. That's not just inside and that's not something that I have the time or the ability to do, which is why we discussed initially, hey, let's just sign an ordinance, no hunting in the park. I mean, that's easy,
Can I ask a clarifying question? So just because you were presented with 2 sample ordinances that you do not think are applicable, or they're not what you're looking for, does not mean you're totally disregarding the potential for a no hunting in the rec field complex.
Could it be as simple as
going
that?
forward?
Correct. No,
Could it be
we're
as
not.
simple as
Okay,
that?
so
We're tabling
I
these because
think-
these don't interest us.
I just want to make that clarification, because I don't think maybe that was received that way by everybody. So, and then also the gates at the front, just reiterating that has no bearing on the no hunting in the rec complex at all. They're two totally separate
issues.
things.
As far as I'm concerned, they're 2 separate issues.
I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
just clarifying.
As far as I'm concerned, they're 2
Thank
separate
you.
issues.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, my question is, I guess, is it as simple as writing down on a piece of paper that says there is no hunting in the town park on 7B?
Rutland
hunting
City
season
has
end.
that ordinance.
End of the
It's-
month, right?
I'll try to find it for you guys.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
That'd be
you
good.
guys
Get
must
it
have
to-
one on Pine Hill, right?
Yeah.
Of some sort.
It's part of the city,
Well, city's got a strict ordinance anyway.
right?
Yeah, the whole.
But
yeah.
it's pretty simple. I think it's as simple as what Don's
Is
saying.
it that easy?
It just
That's my
identifies
question.
that property.
Then if we
Okay.
can get
Well,
that-
not just that property. It's all no hunting or fishing, or no hunting, no camping in city parks.
Which I think
So-
camping, that's, why we're going at it, put the camping on there.
Right.
Well, the trespassing after dark is, I don't know if that's good enough for now.
Yeah, because it says from dusk till dawn it's closed. Yeah.
Like, if you get that.
I'll look for it.
But that's a good question. Is it as simple as just identifying in the town? It's just this property in town. We're saying
Let me double check.
this is.
It's
that
pretty dry
simple.
reading.
Yeah. Because I mean, this goes into footages and goes into what types are allowed. Like this is just overkill. It's ridiculous. So.
And I had heard that there was going to be some mention in the ordinance about the carrying of firearms in the area, and that was going to be outlawed or not permissible.
That has not been discussed.
I've
Okay,
never-
well, that's what
news
I
to
heard.
us.
That was
Yeah,
hearsay.
that
That's
has
one of the
not.
reasons.
That has not been discussed.
Good, I'm glad. We still have the Second Amendment.
So.
All right, let's move along. Like, we'll, as soon as
Yeah.
you get something,
I'll shoot it to Kim.
Thank you, gentlemen, I
we could
appreciate
always
it.
throw it on the
Thank
next
you, Mark.
minute.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
the
you.
next meeting. If we get it, what they do up in Rutland Town,
In the
Oh,
big
city.
city.
Rutland City.
big city. Okay, George. Old business, anything else? All right, town officers and committee member report. Heidi?
Well, we had a budget workshop before this regularly scheduled select board meeting, and we're going to continue working on the budget at the hour before our next regularly scheduled select board meeting, which will be Monday, December 8th at 5 p.m. Those are open to the public. And that's all I have.
All right. Kevin? As budgeted for this year, the listers, was budgeted for new maps. So we've sent out 4 bids, requests for bids for new maps. We want them done by July 1st. I mean, in anticipation of the reappraisal. It starts this coming summer. One outfit's come back and told us, no, they just got too much on their plate. So we haven't got, any replies from the other 3 yet.
When you talk about maps, would they just be updated maps? Would the whole town have to be resurveyed, or?
No, it's the parcel map.
It's based on
Oh.
transfer.
Oh, okay.
And all the parcels.
Just gets the
Okay.
updated names on the
Okay.
parcels.
There's 29 updates to that.
Okay.
New surveys and everything that have been completed that need to be put.
Just
on
changes
that.
in the
But
29
We have
things.
a reappraisal coming this year, so.
Sarah, do you have anything else, rec committee?
Nothing coming up?
All right, Ken, do you have any? All right, let's go to selectmen's concerns. Donnie, do you have any concerns?
No concerns, Mr. Chairman.
No concerns, Mr. Chairman.
Me either, football season.
You looking at me?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple of concerns. First off, the folks that were here from Sonia Road left us with a set of questions. And my question to the board is, do we want to answer them any further than what we did in our discussion tonight?
My take on it was they were satisfied with our answers except for the fact they want the road standards.
Okay, and I'll leave the copy of this stuff with Kim to keep as a record for
Yep,
us.
yeah. Otherwise, I think we pretty much, I think they were satisfied.
I think they were quite
That was
satisfied.
it, okay.
Yep.
So that's that one. The second thing that I had is, considering the fact that we're entering the holiday season, and during that time of the year, people are always interested in treats and desserts and stuff, and I ended up with some education on my part. I've learned how to make a banana split correctly, and I found out where to go to get those instructions is at Sunday school.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
Yep.
Yes, you have anything?
Mr. Chairman, I am all set. Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, motion made to adjourn, seconded, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.